Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview, NFP Friday, November 6, 2015. Hello traders, great to be with you, coming to you from sunny Thailand. Absolutely beautiful outside, sunny skies, blue waters, calm seas, absolutely gorgeous on a Friday. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit us at fxclearing.com. Traders, great to be with you. I have a lot to talk about today. Got the big NFP data coming out in the U.S. session, and we got 6 currency pairs to look over. Sort of interesting stuff as we move into our trading Friday, last day of our week. So let's get started. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I am your moderator for the market opening preview series. However, today is Friday, so after the New York close, sometime after the New York close, I will give you the Friday wrap-up, where we basically review about 16 daily charts for price action and what we can expect in the week ahead. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008 I retired from a 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida in the United States. Traders, I trade this way. I look at it like this. I'm always looking for opportunities and probabilities to get in a trade and get a W on the win column. Do I win every trade? Absolutely not. If anybody ever says that to you, please run away quickly. Hit the delete button on your computer, right? So how do I do that? Well, I listen to fundamentals. I don't trade fundamentals. I might trade the results of fundamentals, but I don't trade the numbers. In other words, when the number's released, I don't trade that. So we got the big NFP today. I don't trade on NFP Friday, by the way. I basically take the day off. I was taught that in 2006, 2007. And when I was with FX Bootcamp, Wayne McDonald used to say, you know what, it's a good day to stay and sleep. If it's nighttime and if it's daytime in your part of the world, go play a good game of golf. So, you know what, I've listened to him for the last over 8 years, 10 years now, going on 10 years. So, you know, I just don't trade NFP Fridays. It's just too dangerous. But I'm a technician, so I'm always looking at charts. I'm looking at price action. I'm looking at price structure. I'm looking at support and resistance. And I use my Fibonacci tool and checking out pivots. And I use, depending on what instrument I do trade 2 instruments. I trade Forex, where I use harmonics, and I trade another instrument in the U.S. session, where I use Ikimuku. So I do trade 2 different systems depending on the instrument I'm trading. That's enough about me. Let's get on to the legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential risk, but also a large potential of rewards. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's head on over to the indices and let's see what is shaking here. Looks like a red day pretty much on the U.S. session. The Dow 30 closed barely at negative 0.02. The S&P 500 closed negative 0.11. I really needed that to close more than that, but it didn't. The NASDAQ closed negative 0.29%, and the small cap 2000 is the only one that closed in the green, barely at 0.02%. So let's head on over to the Eurozone. Let's see what's going on there. The DAX closed up 0.39%. The FTSE 100 closed negative 0.75%. The CAC 40 closed up at 0.64%. And the Eurostoxx 50 out of Frankfurt closed up at 0.24%. Traders, let's head on over to Asia. Now remember, these countries are currently trading. The Nikkei 225 is up 0.54% as the S&P ASX 200 out of Australia that just had a data release of their monetary statement is negative 0.04%, and the China A50 out of Shanghai is 0.20 in the red. The Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is in the red 1.11%, and the Kospi out of Seoul is barely in the green at 0.3%. So let's take a look at today's economic calendar, see what's going on there. Late in New York yesterday, we did have FOMC member Trullo speaking, and Lockhart spoke also. I was snoring stars at that point of the time. And later in the day, we did have BOE Governor Carney speaking. Well, he spoke yesterday too. Man, doesn't that guy sleep? Okay, so 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we had monetary policy minutes released. There was no price action. I think it moved 10 pips. I was in front of my charts, and there was no price action. Today we have it's medium impact, but we have BOJ Governor Kuroda speaking. Be aware of that. He can move the markets. He just has to say one wrong word, and that can do a job there. The euro has German industrial production coming out month on month. It's medium impact. And wow, not a lot. Medium impact is Halifax House Price Index out of the pound. And the pound has high impact manufacturing production month on month coming out today. Wow, we got plenty of data today. I got to be honest with you. The pound also has trade balance coming out today. Now they had bad data yesterday, and the pound. Well, it was their interest rate decision, and they didn't raise interest or lower interest rates, and the pound moved over 140 pips yesterday. Yeah, I wasn't around for that. And then, of course, today we have in the U.S. session the big non-farm payrolls. They're expecting 180,000. Previous was 142. So that is what's going on there. I think the big thing, they're going to be looking at a couple of things that I think are big, and that is average hourly earnings. They're going to watch. They're forecasting for 0.2%. So we'll see how that goes. Also, out of Canada, we have unemployment change and unemployment rate. Unemployment change is actually a very high impact number. And, of course, in the U.S., we have the unemployment rate also. So quite a data-filled day today, but like I said, I don't trade on NFP Friday. If I'm in front of my charts, I'll watch the fireworks go off in the U.S. session. That's for sure. And the reason I don't trade is because if you're not in the trade pretty early, basically what happens is that you don't get break even by the time all this data comes out in the U.S. session, which is an hour before the stock market opens. You can really get slammed. And you don't want to be in a trade going into NFP. You want to be basically flat on your trades, unless you're 80 or 100 pips up and you can put a stop halfway through that, to protect yourself, and keep money on the table. But, definitely want to be careful on NFP Friday for sure. I would trade the first 2 or 3 hours of London, and that would be it. I would be turning off my computer, which I will most likely do today. So that wraps up our indices and our economic calendar for today. Let's head on over to the charts. So first one to go is euro dollar. Euro dollar really didn't give us a lot of price action yesterday. It's basically just sideways. We're stuck between support and resistance here. I'm looking for this to break this daily pivot point. It's bearish, folks. It's bearish. And we'll try to enter about the S1 at 1 point. Take profit at 1.0844. I want to see this pop up, though. I want to see this come up to this R1 pivot at resistance at 1.0907 to enter the trade, and then we'll get out at 1.0844. This is a nice 50 pip trade if this will just pop up. But it's been sideways, and I'll tell you, I don't expect this to move very much today until NFP. Let's take a look at the pound. There's that big sell-off. We had 140 pip sell-off on the interest rate decision, which was none. And then, this is what it is. And I was not in this, and sorry I wasn't, but it is what it is. So what do we do now? Well, you need a pullback here. So I'm looking at this pullback up to the daily pivot at 1.5260, and we'll sell it at 1.5207. It's a nice 55 pip trade, and we'll see what happens here. We do have data coming out. We have a lot of data coming out of the pound today, so we might get some pretty good price action. Here's the Aussie. You can see the candle for the data that was released. Not much. I think it moved 15 pips or something like that. Not a lot. So I'm looking for a trend line break here. Let this get away from this Forex junk. We're stuck between support and resistance. resistance being the 200 exponential moving average, support being the daily pivot. It's right in the middle of it. We just need to break clear of this and then head for the downside. I don't have a take profit here because I have no idea where I'm going to enter this at. So I can't. What's the most important thing in trading, folks? Capital preservation. And if you can't figure out where your stop's going to go, how can you figure out anything, right? You need to know what your drawdown is. What is a trade going to cost you if you lose it? That is so important. Money management. If you don't have money management skills, or if you're not good at it, get a money management program that will do it for you. It'll calculate it all out for you and actually monitor your trade if you're not good at it. But it's so important that you manage your trade properly. So I would have to reanalyze this trade if I was going to enter it. Okay. All right, the Euro Aussie, some price action yesterday, not bad. However, this is a bearish move here, and again, I'm looking. This is a valid trend line. It's a 3-touch trend line. I'm looking for this to break the trend line, retest it. Let's get in this thing at 1.5207, and we'll get out at 1.5188. So this is a nice 60 pip trade. We just need to break this trend line and head for the downside. And remember, traders, we want to get this done before London lunch. Really, before London lunch. We want to only be in London for about 3 hours today. And we want to get the heck out and just sit on the sidelines and watch it. Now, if you're experienced in trading NFP, man, enjoy your day and grab those pips. Sorry about that, traders. All right, this is the Euro Yen. Again, stuck between the daily pivot and 200 exponential moving average. Did have some price action yesterday. It's really had a nice pullback here. So I'm looking for this to break this daily pivot. We can get in this at 132.28 with a retest of the pivot, which means now that is resistance, and we can then sell it. Remember, we sell at resistance and we buy at support. Looking to take profit at this S1 pivot, support 1 pivot at 131.96. So nice little trade here. Not a lot of pips, but a nice trade. So let's see if we can get this done. Look at about a 36, 37 pip trade if it works. All right, the last trade of the day, of course, is the New Zealand dollar. Not a lot of price action yesterday. I don't expect a lot out of this until NFP. I'm sure it's going to make a move during the NFP announcement. No data from New Zealand, so you can see this has been sideways. We had a little bit of price action 2 days ago, but this is really not done very much. So this is pretty sideways and pretty nasty looking to me. But if we can get a trend line break, that'd be great. This is a valid trend line. I don't like using the last candle as a touch, but it did touch it, and it is a 3-touch trend line, so it is valid. So it needs to break it, retest it. Now that's resistance. We could sell it at 0.6593. Again, I don't have a take profit, and the reason for that is because I don't know where I'm getting in, and I don't know what my stop is going to be, so I don't know what my drawdown is going to be, right? So I don't know how much the trade is going to cost me, and we need to know how much the trade is going to cost you before you enter a trade, right? Money management is so important. Remember, capital preservation, live to trade for tomorrow. All right, traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on a Friday, NFP Friday, November 6, 2015. Traders, remember, after the New York session, at some point we will put up the Friday wrap-up where we go over about 16 daily charts. So we're looking at price action and what's for the week ahead. Traders, enjoy your weekend break, and we'll catch you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.